hope y'all can hear me over this fan, but it's 90 degrees and not turning it off. So this new Kentucky law thing, I think it's been a thing for like years now, but people are still considering it. Well, it still is new when you compare it to old laws. And the typical thing you would expect in the comment section is there, which is things like, and well, I'll open up in a second. Things like, oh, well, that just means mothers and children are going to be abused. Okay, here's the thing: when you make that claim, you're all automatically assuming that divorce, at the very minimum, most of it is because the dad specifically is the one abusing someone. That is bullshit. To constantly act as if women themselves don't say, I kind of got bored, or you know what, we didn't like the way each other was spending money, so we gotta go. So we gotta split. Irreconcilable differences. Remember, y'all were upset about no-fault divorce. Abuse would be a fault, correct? Well, at least I think it should be. I don't know the law, so I'm just gonna say I think it should be. So why be that way over no-fault divorce if you clearly can just go say, hey, he's abusing me. He's abusing the kids. So we need to get away from him. Things like that tell me that you don't actually have an argument. You just have I'm a victim, therefore don't question me and give me exactly what I want. No. So let's go on to, I guess I have it up here already. Very first thing says, this isn't necessarily a good thing. Forcing a miserable couple who don't love one another to remain together just because they need to raise a child together is bound to cause multiple other problems. Ideally, divorce rate would naturally decrease as people become smarter about choosing their partner. That's a fucking lie. Divorce has they said it's on the decline, but I'll give you the benefit of the doubt even though I don't know the stats. I'll just assume that's true. Here's why I would say divorce, a few reasons why I say divorce is on a decline. It's been on a decline. For one, when divorce was first started as no fault, obviously, you got a boom. People are new to it. People go, it gets to a point where it becomes your first go-to. Like, don't even try to resolve the problem. Just go right to that. Don't go talk to family members. If you're part of the church, don't go talk to people at the church. Just straight up go to that divorce and done with it, right? Especially when you can do it that quickly. I'm not sure how long it takes. I think they say you can like do it through this file of paperwork. But if you can, but people split up often before the paperwork is done for. So if you make it that easy, well, yeah, it's a lot of people go to that, and then as time goes on, less and less people have gotten married. Period. Like single mother rate is up. Has been up since what they said the 60s. So people have gotten married less anyway. Like one of the things that I hear people talking about in these podcasts is why do like a chick could be pregnant and they're already broken up. Baby ain't even here yet. Well, you don't have to get a divorce if you don't even walk down the aisle. You can just fucking and then you just break up. Or if you were a couple at all. So that's one thing that can contribute to less divorce. So it isn't because people are becoming smarter. It's likely because people are becoming even more reckless that they don't even got time to get married to have a need for a divorce. All right, and the problems that could come about, man, divorce isn't fixing problems. It's not. You can choose to ignore problems, just like you could in the house. One thing that always like bothers me when people make a joke about it or just simply bring it up is when they say something like that one joke that shows up every now and again where the woman will say, oh, my divorced husband back now doing the same shit that he was when he was my husband because blah blah blah, like making fun of the fact that yeah, she divorced him, but he gonna make sure she alright because, you know, mother of his child. Wait a minute, you couldn't do this while he was in a house in the same bed? So when people, and that's just the example I use, obviously it's on both sides, but to act as if that's the only way that you could solve a problem, no. It allows you to ignore problems. Exactly what you could do while being married. You just ignore the fucking problem. I think divorce is more so to spending the money you want, fucking who you want. I think that's really what divorce comes down to at the end of the day. damn, I need a release right now, and I don't want to fuck that person I'm married to. I want to blow this money, and that person I'm married to is giving me problems about it. Fuck. Why don't I just have my own shit, get divorced, and I can do whatever the fuck I want, and be single again? I think that's more likely the quote unquote problems that are being solved. And no, I'm not saying that abuse doesn't exist. I'm saying this. I personally think it's the minority of the other two. Literally, just the other two. Like think about it, the reason people don't want to get married is because of those very two. And then when people are married and their complaints, or one way they get over the problems is because of those two. Like couples are deciding not to get the bank accounts and combined bank accounts because they want to spend. One dude used the example of golf clubs and her buying fucking shoes. They fix their problems by just spending the money as they please. That's considered fixing the problem. Moving on. I think I covered that enough. Moving on. It also means they are staying and being abused. Who? It also means women are staying and being abused. How do you know that? You need to literally find. I want to know what percentage of the no fault divorce. Think about that. What percentage of no fault divorce? Never mind all of them. Just no fault. Are they claiming abuse? And no fault is by far the most common divorce. The abuse seems to only come up when there's some shit for her to gain. I've never heard of a divorce where the dude didn't have shit to give her and she claimed abuse. I'm not saying it doesn't happen. I just never heard it. No, this isn't a flex. More families staying in unhealthy or unsafe relationships and setting a bad example for kids. Not okay. So just breaking up is a good example? I'm not saying that it's not. I'm saying that you can't just assume one or the other. Divorce is, I'm pretty sure, and all, like from couple to couple, couple to couple, couple to couple. I'm pretty sure they describe it differently. It could literally be the same problem. 100 couples have the same damn problem. We'll probably describe it differently. So for you to be able to just say, oh, it's women, they file for divorce because they're getting beat up. Y'all got to really cut this shit. It's like the word racism. When you hear it over and over and over again, you just stop giving a fuck when you hear it. So if y'all are being abused left and right, non-stop, okay, what can you do? I'm lost. At this point, I don't really care. If literally every time y'all got a problem, it's abuse. Every time. It ain't never both ways. Like I've seen growing up. Hell, even in adulthood, it's never both ways. It's just you getting beat up nonstop. Every divorce is a Lifetime movie. She was just doing the best she could. He walked in the house, had a bad day at work, and drop kicked her in the pregnant stomach. Y'all really got to stop resorting to abuse every time y'all want to win a fight. This is retarded. This is not a win for abusive relationships, making it harder for the kids to get away from abuse. How many of y'all get duped? How many of y'all get duped by a dude who's pretending to be so caring, playing that same damn trope, and then as soon as he closed the door on wedding night, pow, right in the kisser. In a bad way. How many? See how repetitive this is. It's 193 comments in here. And 3/4 of them is, but she's going to continue to get punched in the face. So you mean to tell me if they co-parent, he won't punch her in the face? He'll just magically stop being abusive because, divorce and co-parenting. All right. All those poor ladies are now held prisoner. And they could still get divorced. You could still get divorced. And if you think the kids are being abusive, are you literally saying that the dad should never ever see them? Because that's usually not even the argument. It's like the most common argument I'm hearing is like she gets primary custody and he gets them like once or twice a month. How the fuck does that fix abuse? If you're going to tell me that he's abusive to the kids, because if he's not abusive to the kids, this is a nothing burger. But if you're telling me he's abusive to the kids, then that means he should be in jail. Otherwise, you're full of shit. But let's just give you the benefit of the doubt and say, no, still want them to have their dad, still want them to be around. And the question I have is, why? Remember, he's abusive. So why wouldn't you just want him in jail? Or do you just want him outside of jail being a workhorse because now child support? If you're going to keep bringing up abuse, I have to ask you, is it against the children? If not, you can still get your fucking divorce and still have 50-50. If you're telling me the abuse is also towards the children, then I have to ask you, why would you not ask for him to be in jail? That's child abuse, literally. Why would you not want him in jail? Aren't those the kind of guys that would like kidnap their kids from school and like hold them hostage and shit? Like all of a sudden, like they just have limitations on their abuse. Somehow, magically, they all have the same limitation. As long as they don't have custody, they won't punch him. That every dad is a fucking monolith. An abuser, but only when he's in the house. He'll never abuse them like if he can like pull up at the park. Ever. Alright. As a woman, I'm so glad to hear this. Kids need their dads. When I was growing up in the 80s, mom had custody and dads only saw the kids every other weekend. It was so unfair to the kids and their dads. Here's my thing. Here's what I've come up with. And if I was an adult in the 80s, I'm not sure how I would approach this, but this is with seeing all of this. This is how my approach to this child stuff is. If I were to be like married with children and all that, and she will pull this stuff that I'm seeing in the comment section that I hear on podcasts, the whole nine of I'm abusive, I should never be around my kids, I'm a danger, all this. I'm not contesting that. I'm not. Because that tells me either she's right and I shouldn't have the kids, or she's fucking lying and she's going so far that I have to stand in front of somebody who don't know us. They not in the house. I gotta depend on them believing her or me and living with their decision. I'm not doing that. You can either keep them with you or keep leaving with me. I would not be, and like the amount of times this guy, Bernard probably used to do a podcast some ways back, and he said his story was he had to, over the years, she had primary custody on paper, but he had primary custody at home, and he was still paying child support despite having them with him. And he said he had to go through years of having receipts, text messages, proving that they were with him most of the time, pictures, and I'm just like, I'm fighting the mother like this for my kids. I'm gonna tell you right now, in that type of battle, one of us just shouldn't even be allowed to be around, because one of us is just some grade A assholes and literally jeopardizing these kids. That's what there is no way around that. One of us is jeopardizing these kids. Either you're lying because you just want your freedom and that check, so you want custody on paper, but only on paper, so you allow me to be drained by having to pay you and take care of them. Or I'm an asshole and I just want to take them from you to spite you, despite what's best for them. I gotta tell you, I'm just going to assume, because listen, I'm not going to put that on my baby moms, my ex-wife. I'm not going to do that. I am just going to assume you're right and I shouldn't have these kids around. Because that's some bullshit. I so strongly disagree with you. What this did was force people to stay married because they will continue to be trapped and abused by a partner who will absolutely use the children as leverage and people. Are y'all even imagining in your head what y'all are saying? Do y'all really think that the typical situation in which somebody would want a divorce, or just a woman, y'all are just assuming a woman wants a divorce, is every day in the house just like he's just walking past like, yeah, bitch, you better hold your head down. Yeah. And she's just like, for the kids, so that they really. Have y'all met 2026 people, or in this particular case 2026 women? Y'all really don't think that they would run amok and take them kids to fucking court anyway and say, yo, fuck that. He beating the hell out of us. I had to go stay with my mom and hope the kids were still alive. Y'all really think that they're so today's women are responding as if they were in the 60s because a 50-50 law. Not he gets total custody. I forget the word, primary custody, but 50-50. She would never try to be creative enough to file for divorce anyway. And then when she has custody in her hands, which is probably right out the gate until they figure it out, because I'm pretty sure when you're putting that paperwork in and you're separated, you still have to decide where the kids are going to go, how the kids are going to work out in the meantime. And I'm pretty sure in that meantime, she can pull a fast one and keep them with her. You mean to tell me 2026 women are not smart enough to do something like that? You're telling me that. The smart asses of today, the educators of today, are not smart enough to figure a way to get their children out of an abusive situation simply because the custody is 50-50. You are full of shit. And just using this lazy ass victim card, I'm sick of that. If you want me to properly acknowledge abuse, no problem. But stop using it as just like it's just every divorce ever. It just contains the man beating the woman's ass. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. At this point, you're not even trying. I'm not reading the rest of this shit. So be right, not positive. I'm out.